Welcome to Cancer Fit on Demand, powered by Livestrong and created by Mapletree. Before we begin, take a moment to recognize that you have already made the hardest decision of the day, and that was to press play. Now it's time to move. So grab your water bottle, have your towel nearby, and let's focus on what we can do today.
Welcome to the 12-week workout program specifically designed for cancer patients and survivors. My name is Morgan, and I'm your exercise oncology instructor for Mapletree Cancer Alliance. I'm thrilled to be here with you today to guide you through this low-intensity strength training program. Our aim is to help you regain your strength, increase your physical function, and improve your overall well-being. This program is designed to be safe and gentle, yet effective in strengthening muscles that are supporting your joints by using foundational functional movements like squats, lunges, hinging, pushing, pulling, and rotation. For this week, you will need a chair and a ball. If you don't have a ball, you can also use a pillow. The following exercises are meant to be pain-free. If you experience any pain from these movements, please skip that movement or stay in a pain-free range. All right, guys, we're gonna start with our warm-up, and we're gonna do sets of 10 through all of these movements. We're gonna start with an overhead reach and a side stretch. So what that overhead reach is gonna look like is we're gonna bring our hands right in front of us. We're gonna reach up and lean back just a little bit, and then come back down to center. And then we're gonna reach up again and come back to center. Exhaling while you reach is a really good way to practice our deep breathing. And inhale and reach and back down. And again, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and then we're gonna do side stretch. So we're gonna spread those feet just a little bit, put one hand on our hip, and we're gonna reach over to the side. And we're gonna do 5 on each side, and we're gonna alternate. So we're gonna go to the other side and stretch. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're gonna put those feet back underneath our hips, and we are going to do some arm circles. So we're gonna go forwards first, and we'll do 10. So trying to keep those thumbs up on top of your hands as we do these arm circles will really help our shoulder go through a full range of motion. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're gonna go backwards. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if we aren't able to go all the way up over our head, just doing small little arm circles with that range of motion that we can stay in pain-free is a really good option. All right, our next movement is gonna be some cross-body arm stretch. We're gonna open up our arms and then swing, and we're gonna catch one arm across in our elbow crease of our opposite arm and pull towards our body. And then we're gonna open and crease and catch and stretch. That's 2, and 3, 4, and 5. If this movement is painful, you can go ahead and stretch just nice and low. We're just aiming for that stretch in our back. Good. And 8, 9, and 10. All right. I'm gonna go to the side, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our arms bent, and we're just gonna squeeze those shoulder blades together, bringing our chest out, and then relax as we bring them forwards, kind of rounding our back. and then squeeze, sticking our chest out, and then rounding our back. This is 3 and 4. We bend these elbows so that it gives us a point to squeeze to, so we're trying to touch those elbows in the back and bring those fists in front. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I'm gonna turn towards you again, and we're gonna keep those elbows nice and bent at our sides, and we're just gonna raise those shoulders and elbows up to horizontal, keeping those elbows nice and tucked towards our sides and bent at that 90-degree angle. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Last one we're gonna do for our warm-up is gonna be some wrist flexion, extension, and supination and pronation. And so we're gonna flex those wrists up and then point them to the floor. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and then we're gonna keep those arms out front, and we're just gonna twist those hands up like we're holding a bowl of soup and then dumping the soup. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're gonna relax those arms, and I want you guys to grab your chair. So I have my ball sitting in my chair already, but we're just gonna use this chair for some stability while we are doing our standing exercises for our workout. So our single leg hamstring curl is what we're gonna start with. And so we're gonna be holding on, curl that heel towards our butt as hard as we can, and then we're gonna relax. And so we have 10 of these. We're gonna do 5 on each side. And we're gonna go through this twice before we move on to the next movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're gonna switch and make sure you're keeping that core nice and tight and we have good posture. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I did some extras. All right, we're gonna go back to the other side and another set of 5. Again, good posture, standing up tall, having a nice good core engagement and keeping our balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Still holding on to our chair, we are going to do some single leg high knees. And so what that's gonna look like is we're gonna bring that knee up as high as we can towards our chest and then set back down, and we will alternate. So we're gonna do 10 total. Again, we want that chair for balance. When we are lifting that knee up, make sure we're not leaning too far back, that we are leaning a little bit forward so we're in a nice stacked position. And I want you to bring that leg up if you are limited by mobility or pain. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're gonna shake it out, give ourselves a little bit of a rest, and then we're gonna do this one more time through. All right, so again, standing up straight, leaning a little bit forwards, engaged core. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. We're gonna move on to our calf raises. So you're gonna be facing that chair with both hands on that chair. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up on our toes as high as we can. And so we're gonna do both legs at the same time. And we're gonna do 2 sets of 10. Again, good posture. Make sure we're breathing through this. And we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we can do some calf stretches, which is kind of a lunge, pushing that heel to the floor as we give our legs a little bit of rest before we do our second set. And then we're gonna go back to our chair or our table, hold on to it, good posture, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we have 2 movements left. So our second to last movement that we have for our standing portion of our workout is our lunge hold. So we're going to go into a nice split stance. So I will turn sideways so you guys can see a nice wide split stance, and we're gonna bend forward knee coming up over our toe. We're nice and square with our hips, and we're just gonna hold for 20 seconds. So I'm gonna rest, and then we're gonna get started. We're gonna do this twice. And so go down in that elevated lunge, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, and we're gonna relax and stretch out those legs, and then we're gonna switch legs into that lunge. Nice and square hips, knee over toe, bending that knee towards the floor. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, we're gonna go through this one more time. So we're gonna start back on that same leg, into that lunge, bending that knee towards the floor, knee over toe in front, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, and we're gonna switch legs last time through these lunges. Knee over toe, knee bending towards the floor, chest upright, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, we are gonna do our last standing movement, which is going to be a sit to stand. So I'm gonna move my ball. We're gonna turn this chair around. And so we're gonna start off standing, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit our butt back to the chair and then stand. So we have 2 sets of 10. If you need a higher target, putting a ball on the chair or a stack of books or a pillow that we can have a higher target to hit our butt to is a really good option. So we're gonna start off. I like to put my hands in front of my chest to remind me to squeeze my shoulder blades together and have good posture. All right, and 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, remember with these squats that we are bending at our hips first, then we're bending our knees and keeping our chest nice and upright. So let's take a couple deep breaths. All right, we have our last set of our squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we are gonna pull that chair a little bit closer so we can take a seat. We're gonna take a couple deep breaths and then we're gonna get started into our seated part of our workout. So nice deep breath into that belly, into those ribs. Bring that heart rate down just a little bit. And so we're gonna start off with some heel slides. So I'm gonna scoot to the edge of my chair, and I like to hold on to my chair just for a little extra stability, and it gives my hands something to do. And we're gonna slide those heels out and then back in. So we wanna activate that core, keeping it nice and strong, isolated with that effort and good posture, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And we're just sliding that. We're gonna do 10 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and we're gonna switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10. All right, take a couple deep breaths, let that belly relax. And we're gonna go through one more time with those heel slides. So we're going to be pulling our ribs towards our hips, kind of pushing that lower back down and back into the back of our chair, getting that nice core activation, heels while squeezing those shoulder blades together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and take one deep breath. And we're gonna do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I'm going to scoot back in my chair just a little bit, and we're going to do some ankle pumps. So we're gonna have that leg out in front, and we're just going to point our foot and flex it, and we're gonna do a set of 10. So again, we want that good posture. We don't wanna be relaxing into the back of our chair. So standing upright, squeezing those shoulders back, and one foot out, and point, and flex. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're gonna switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're just gonna let those feet relax so you can kind of pump those ankles a little bit on the floor with those toes. Wiggle them around, let them loosen up. And then we're gonna go back to our second set. So starting on that original leg in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and second leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we have our last movement for our workout today. We're gonna scoot up to the edge of our chair just a little bit so that our knees have some room to bend and our legs have some room to move. But we're going to put this ball or pillow in between our knees, and we're gonna have flat feet, and we're just gonna squeeze that ball as hard as we can and relax without dropping that ball. So again, we have good posture, so you can roll those shoulders back, engage that core, and we are gonna go ahead and get started. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're gonna relax, take one deep breath. And we have 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we are done with our ball or our pillow, so I'm just gonna put it right down next to me. And we are going to start our cool down. So like we started with our warm up, we're gonna do an overhead reach with a side stretch, but we're gonna add in a fold. So we're going to put those arms in front of us, reach up overhead, and then come back down, and we're gonna do a set of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're gonna do 5 on each side of our overhead stretches. So we're gonna put that hand on our hip and stretch to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're gonna switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we're gonna put those feet nicely planted on the floor, and we're just gonna fold straight forwards, stretching out our hips and our back, and then coming back up. And that's 1, 2, 3. Try to look at an object that's about 4 feet in front of you so that we're not curling our neck and we're keeping a nice straight back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. We're going to go into our trunk rotations. So we're going to put one arm on our head, and we're going to take our opposite arm, cross it across our body, and push, trying to open that shoulder to the back. And then we're gonna switch. So again, we're gonna bend that opposite arm, reach across our body to the opposite knee, and push on that knee, and turn towards the back. And we're gonna do this 10 times, so 5 on each side. All right, grab that knee and push. And other side. You might get a couple back cracks, and that's okay. 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. And then we're going to put both hands on the back of our heads, and we're going to pull those elbows in together and then open them up as we look at the ceiling. We're going to do this 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to go into some neck stretches and rotations. So we're going to put our chin to our chest and then back towards our back, looking at the ceiling, and back towards our chest. We're going to do this 5 times. 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to take our ears and put them to our shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and we're gonna do our head turns. So we're gonna look at that shoulder, trying to turn our head all the way past that shoulder with good posture. 1, 2,
You've completed something truly special today. You should be so proud of yourself for pushing through, because we certainly are. Each movement that you made today is more than just an exercise. It's a reminder that movement is medicine. Congrats on a great workout, and we look forward to moving with you again soon. Live strong.